They're both so good. You got to follow it up with your Ruth Warwick story.
No, I'll just do the Eileen story. Eileen was just a consummate actress. She was like, she had the accent and stuff, and she worked with Olivier, so we were always in awe of her, because she was so good. And I mean, Myrtle was such a. I mean, I met Dixie in Myrtle's dress shop, and I remember one day we were doing a party scene, and she always used to wear those huge false eyelashes. Do you remember those? Yeah. And we were doing a crystal ball or something, or a wedding, or a funeral, and we were all hanging out. They're very long days, they're like 20 hours and something. And so I had to stand with her, and I think it was Larkin Malloy for some reason, and Eileen. And halfway through the scene, I'm looking at her, and it looks like one of these things is trying to make a break for it. And it's crawling up her forehead. She would always do these, she would do these great faces, and Myrtle would batter, oh, darling, like this. And it looked like, a little caterpillar puppet show. On her forehead. So I'm like, Eileen. So they fix it. So about, 3 hours later, I was waiting. I think I had 2 lines the entire thing, and I was waiting for my cue, and I was counting the lines before mine to do it. And I look across at Eileen, and she goes.
Turn around and show up behind you.
For those of you that need visual aids. I look at her, she's about 10 feet away from me, she goes. And and she's like, and so, I know that I was going to get on camera at 30 seconds, so I turned around and I grabbed my jacket, wiping my teeth like crazy, buffing them, making sure there's nothing stuck in there. And I was late for the cue, and so they had to go back and do it again. So we finally got in the can, and I said, Eileen, what the hell was that about? She goes, oh, darling, I was just bored to tears and felt like fucking with you.
And the only thing I have on my back is the Emmy I took from General Hospital. In my backpack. So, they put us up at the Beacon Theater, the Beacon Hotel there on, on Broadway. And I show up, it's a Saturday or a Sunday, and I show up, and it's like 11 o'clock, and I said, Jacob Young, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have you in our registry. What do you mean you don't have me on your registry? Sorry, we don't have you on your registry tonight. Well, I don't have anywhere else to go. So I set my backpack down, and, this guy and I started having a confrontation. I said, well, don't you go ahead, and doesn't ABC have an account with this hotel? Yes, they do. Well, then why would I be lying about something like this? Why don't you just put me up in one of your free rooms? And he said, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing that we can do. And without thinking, I just kind of did one of these, like that's in my backpack. I said, well, I guess I'll just sleep on the couch then, right? I go over to the couch, and then I look down, and I see my backpack, and I realize, oh, my Emmy was in that. And I open it up, and the wing is broken. Oh. And so I start going, oh, I'm in New York, and my heart is broken, and I don't know where to go, and I don't know anybody. Mommy. And then they start singing this, and they go, all right, let's just get in a room. So that was that. But we were doing a little show at Broadway Cares a couple years in a row. We did a great fundraiser. And a lot of these guys participated in this, and as well as David Canary, who has been not only a father, but a mentor and just an amazing man to work with. And this is like one of my first David Canary stories, and we're all frustrated and like nervous about going out in front of so many people and performing these musical numbers. And as was David, I knew, but he was always like,
I had a younger brother that was living with me in Brooklyn, and we lived at Patio Gardens, right on Flatbush, and a huge complex. A lot of people lived there, and subsequently, a lot of girls used to come knocking on the door looking for Jesse. I mean, actually, they thought Jesse lived there. There was this one particular day that they come knocking on the door, and because of the pitter-patter of the feet outside and the giggling, we knew I was standing there with my sister. I was like, and Anita, sweetest little soft-spoken girl, she's like, Jesse doesn't live here. And they were like, yes, he does. He does not live here. And I'm going, open the door. He doesn't live here. They'd had enough. They said, shut up, white bitch. Open the door. We know he's in there. They actually thought it was Jenny Gardner. They thought Jesse and Jenny lived in their building. And they were demanding Jenny open the door so they could come talk to Jesse. I was undone. We stood there with our mouths.
Tell them a theater story that you told us the other night.
I don't remember.
When you and Debbie were in the theater down in Times Square.
God. She tells the story a lot better than I do. I might F this up, but anyway. This was back in the early day also. Debbie and I, we're like thick as thieves. We're, and Angela. We're like joined at the hip. And as you heard earlier, I walked her down the aisle.
I got her one. It said Walt's mom, Lucille, on it. And I thought, she'll open it for Christmas. It'll be funny. She'll put it in the closet. She'll look at it. She wore this goddamn thing every day. She wore this thing. August in Illinois, 96 degrees, matching humidity. I mean, she wore it till the day she died. At her funeral, we hung it on a hanger and put it on the thing because that's how people knew her. So it's about 1992. I'm pretty hot on the show. It's Christmas time. I take my mom to Kmart because we need to get, you got that one strand of white lights. There's always the one goddamn bulb out. I'm not checking all the bulbs. I'm going to buy a new strand, right? So I said, now, Mom, here's the deal. If I move fast and keep this baseball cap on, nobody will recognize me. Or if they recognize me, when they walk by me, they'll go, nah. So just keep moving with me. She's pretty spry and stuff. So she's moving with me. We're going, people are walking by going, nah. Then all of a sudden, the same people walked by and went, nah. Were now waiting for me at the end of the aisle with pens and paper. I realized my mother's fallen behind by about 8 feet. When these people walk by, she's going, that's him, that's Walt. He plays, I'm his mom, Lucille. I got her one. It said Walt's mom, Lucille, on it. And I thought, she'll open it for Christmas. It'll be funny. She'll put it in the closet. She'll look at it. She wore this goddamn thing every day. She wore this thing. August in Illinois, 96 degrees, matching humidity. I mean, she wore it till the day she died. At her funeral, we hung it on a hanger and put it on the thing because that's how people knew her. So it's about 1992. I'm pretty hot on the show. It's Christmas time. I take my mom to Kmart because we need to get, you got that one strand of white lights. There's always the one goddamn bulb out. I'm not checking all the bulbs. I'm going to buy a new strand, right? So I said, now, Mom, here's the deal. If I move fast and keep this baseball cap on, nobody will recognize me. Or if they recognize me, when they walk by me, they'll go, nah. So just keep moving with me. She's pretty spry and stuff. So she's moving with me. We're going, people are walking by going, nah. Then all of a sudden, the same people walked by and went, nah. Were now waiting for me at the end of the aisle with pens and paper. I realized my mother's fallen behind by about 8 feet. When these people walk by, she's going, that's him, that's Walt. He plays, I'm his mom, see him.